Alrighty, and we are live. What's up, guys? It's Legend X Ronin, and today I'm finally bringing back the live discussion series. And today I have a few guests, and we're going to be discussing a few characters and whether or not they're possibly going to return to Mortal Kombat 11. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome our guests. First, we have History Behind the Warrior. Go ahead and say hey to everyone.
Hello.
Next, we have Ulterior Gamez.
What's up, guys?
And last but not least, MadDoggGames.
What's up?
Alrighty. Before we get started, I want to ask everybody, like, can y'all hear us well in the chat? Well, can you hear us well in the video? You know, just let us know in the chat. Give us a thumbs up or something. But we're going to go ahead and start with the first of these 5 characters, which is Jade. So, of course, what I want to ask you guys is, do you guys think that Jade will return in Mortal Kombat 11? And we're going to start with you, History Behind the Warrior.
Okay. I was actually going to ask what the pecking order is, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to go by the... I think we're just going to go by the list that's on the screen. Like, just go from the top to bottom.
Okay, fantastic. Alright, personally, I feel like Jade's going to come back. There's too much foreshadowing going on with her right now, and considering her exclusion in MKX, I feel like it's a great way of writing her back into the story. She's been cut out, we don't really know what happened to her after she became a Revenant. Kind of mysterious. I know NRS has had this idea in the pipeline since the end of MK9, so it seems very silly if they were to ignore this plot point, and I think that Jade has a large enough fan base at this point in time that people will definitely want her back because, well, I want her back. So naturally, I'm going to be pretty biased about this. Personally, I think she's going to be in. I'm willing, I'd say willing to probably put money on it. People want her back. And with the death of Melina in the previous game, we probably need another female ninja to fill that role. So just ideas. Well, I think she'll make it.
I agree entirely. After the when was it? Is it in MKX when they had like the end credits or what is it called? They had the foreshadowing of the mysterious woman, and she had another appearance in the trailer. I think that's the same person. At least that's why I think. Another one I was trying to hint us at is it's the same person who's been manipulating Jade. So I mean, everything leads to her being in this game. Even if it's a small role, but I think it's going to be a pretty good chunk of the story. It's going to involve Jade and the mysterious woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other half is probably going to be like Liu Kang and Katana. It's going to be like probably 2 separate storylines, and then they're all going to like merge into one at the very end. But yeah, Jade's definitely going to come back.
Definitely agree with that.
You guys pretty much took all the talking points, but yes, I definitely agree with all that. No, it's all good.
Well, I mean, there's one thing that you guys did kind of left out that I've been thinking of, though. Remember, I want to say it was like around the time MKX started to die down, but we still had hope for Kombat Pack 3. And Ed Boon had tweeted out that poll, you know, asking what character did we miss the most. And he did one for a female and did one for a male. And of course, as we know, Jade won. So it's something I think is definitely like almost 100% going to happen. And of course, like you guys were saying, like I think she's going to tie in with the mysterious lady. They've already said that the lady at the end of Jade's MK9 ending is the same person possessing Jade in Katana's MKX ending. Well, I want to say Tyler. Somebody said that on Twitter. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure all that's going to tie in, and Jade's going to probably have something to do with the story and be someone probably working with this mysterious lady. But yeah, I think we can all agree 100% that Jade's going to be in.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. So what do you think happened to the Kombat Pack 3? Like, they never denied it, so they made us think that it was going to happen. So I don't know why they didn't, like, just, if they were not going to do it, they could have said no, you know? But instead, they put us the polls, think that Jade was going to be maybe Fujin and Rain or something like that, because they already have, like, especially Rain, right? He has he's kind of set. He's in there. He has a character, but it's just that it wasn't playable.
Do you want to go first, dude?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think that maybe they wanted to try it, but they kind of just like maybe didn't have the resources at the time or felt the need to go ahead and put all the development time into Injustice 2 during that
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
I think that's why they kind of compensated with throwing Jade in on Mortal Kombat X Mobile, which honestly, to me, that was
Yeah.
just a slap in the face. That game
Yeah,
in general,
right.
that game in general, just like all the stuff they added that wasn't in Mortal Kombat X, just felt like a slap
Yeah.
to the face. But I think they did have intentions of doing it, and I definitely think that like characters like Jade, Noob, maybe even Rain could have been on it, but I think they just decided to scrap it and keep on moving.
Yeah, I'd say it's that and what is it? They're on their 2-year schedule, so they understandably wanted to stick to that. The reason as to why they probably kept teasing at it is not so much that NRS wanted to tease at it, but Ed Boon likes being a massive, massive, huge, cheating liar dick on Twitter. He likes to wind people up, and he will purposely say. I mean, he even put out a tweet like the other day. It's like Iron Man confirmed for Mortal Kombat 11, and it's like, come on, dude, stop it. But it's just, yeah, I think that's probably the reason as to why that happened. But there definitely was some ideas in the pipeline. God knows when that was. It would all have been like come to fruition, but I highly doubt it would have happened anytime soon, unfortunately. Just the whole schedule. But I mean, if they're taking into account fan reception, which no doubt they are, since we got characters like Scarlet and Tremor, she'll probably most certainly make the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It sucks, but what can we do? I mean, I'm expecting MK11 though to have. I won't say exactly have a Kombat Pack 3, but I'm like, because the Kombat Pack 1 has already kind of like been revealed on what's going to be in it. Not like as far as who the characters are, but how many characters there are going to be. And with there being 6 in just the first one, like if they keep that up for the second one, that's like 12 DLC characters right there. So I don't think that if they do decide to do that, I don't think that there will be.
Wait, 6 in the first?
Yeah,
it's been
Really?
confirmed.
it's already been
That's-
confirmed. So I don't.
Wow.
I think if they continue with 6 for the second one, that there would not be a Kombat Pack 3. But I want to make a video on this, but I actually really think that they might do a Kombat Pack 0. Because Ed often talked about that with Injustice, and he's still like he went on about it for like a couple tweets he has about it, and I think that like certain other fighting games like Smash, for example, leading by example on how they brought back all these characters from previous, like even the DLC. And Ed has a Switch, and he often talks about stuff, and he even talked about the roster for Smash when it was announced. And I just think that the idea of possibly bringing back some of the DLC characters, whether we like some of them or not, horror characters, but that they might try to do that just to make this game even more appealing to like a larger fan base.
What do you guys feel about seasons if they were to do that, just like other fighting games?
Okay, while I think that would be cool, you're getting very off topic. Very off topic. But I think seasons would it would be kind of cool. But I mean, some things does get old after a while. They would have to do it right if they did decide to do it. But getting back on topic, next character is Melina, which I have a lot to say about that. But
oh god,
this time we're gonna start with Ulterior and kind of just go down from there.
Okay. Shoot, I don't even know where to begin. Melina's a tricky character because I feel like she shouldn't return, but with all like the fans and they're probably gonna bring her back some way somehow. Even if it's not her, I don't know. They might take like a cheeky way out of it and just like make it like be her clone or whatever. I don't know, but
or maybe just bring her back, just like the Joker. You know, it had nothing to do with the story, but you know, people wanted him there. So
to kind of
true.
I would say, to kind of slide into there. I mean, this story has already been confirmed to be based on time bending. So as far as I see,
that is true. Anything's
possible.
Oh,
So
That
yeah,
is
that's true. So like, they might do like a time bend where like instead of Devora killing her, something happens. Someone intervenes, and she ends up like escaping, and then she's out loose or whatever. Yeah, fuck. This is gonna be a weird game. This is gonna like involve time travel. Damn.
which
Yeah,
which
I don't even know.
I gotta say, like, I'm kind of surprised they went with that again after MK9. But I mean, maybe this time
Well,
around it might be done differently, because I think it's not going to be so much as time travel and changing time as much as it is just intertwining different timelines.
Mhm.
oh,
Because
okay.
because like my biggest thing that I've kind of like had the idea of is that they're going to intertwine the original and the new timeline. But then me and my brother were talking, and he was just like, well, you're thinking too small. He's like, what if they tried to bring in different timelines where different things happen? Because, like, there's already that theory that with Shao Kahn and Onaga that somehow they merge or something. Like, I haven't really, like, delved too much into it, but I know a lot of people have been talking about that. And my brother brought it up, and he was like, well, what if there's, like, a timeline where Onaga took over Shao Kahn's body instead of Reptile? And I was just like, well, I never thought about anything in that area, but for the most part I've been thinking just a new old timeline, but anything is honestly possible.
Hold on,
Mhm.
hold on. I just got a really good idea. So in MK9 how Raiden like basically he changed the timeline, and then which created like the new timeline that we're on right now. Maybe this new mysterious character who we don't know yet, maybe she sees it in a different way where he manipulated time, causing everything to change for like it. I mean, they did it because it was for the benefit of the good guys, but maybe she thinks that time was meant to be a certain way, aka the original timeline. So she's trying to change it so that they go back to the original timeline. And
Well,
obviously, the good guys are trying to fight against it to keep it the same way that it's gone so far. So maybe her job or her thing that she's trying to do is to reverse it to make it go back to the original timeline, or at least as close to it as possible, creating like the Deadly Alliance, having that happen again, only maybe it's slightly different because I don't know, maybe she thinks that it's the way it was supposed to go, and with Raiden messing it up, it's just created chaos all over all other realms, or in her mind, maybe she's gonna be like the main bad guy trying to change it to become like the original timeline, how things originally went down before Raiden messed everything up. I don't know. Just a thought.
well, I mean, I know I kind of somewhat agree with you, because if Katana's MKX ending is any kind of leeway into that, they talked about how Katana actually survived Armageddon and killed Shao Kahn. And when Jade had showed her that vision in that ending, she ended up realizing what happened, and she hated Raiden for him causing everything that happened in MK9. So I mean, I definitely can see that happen. And just to tie this back into the original topic, just Melina, I mean, something like that would definitely be a reason to bring Melina back. Though I personally don't think that she'll return, but that's just my opinion. But I'm gonna hand it over to Mad just before I get into what I want to say.
I honestly believe 100% that she is going to be in the game, no
Oh
matter what.
wow! I want to hear
No matter
this.
what.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
No
I
matter
want to
what.
hear this. You said 100. That's pretty confident. 100%.
I think she's just way too popular at that point to not include her. She has like a whole separate audience, dedicated to her. They just love her, her personality, and stuff like that. And if you take that off out of the
Personality.
game, it just kind of I don't know. That's just gonna make a lot of people upset.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I
That
agree.
yeah.
What
So,
about you, History behind the Warrior?
I think she's probably gonna be out of this one.
Okay, here we go.
oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
No,
All right.
The
I
reason...
agree. I agree.
Put me in my place. Let's go.
No. I think they're gonna do like a fun little tweak with the whole Melina thing. I think that they're gonna take her out the game, but one of her clones are gonna fulfill her role and her moveset within the game. Because there's a ton of Melina clones. Just because this one dies doesn't mean she can't be replaced by another one. And it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing with Melina. Because the problem is, with Melina as a character that exists within the universe, what else can they do with her character? Like, she's the daughter of Shao Kahn. She became the Khan for a little bit. In the original timeline, it was the same thing. The idea has been cooked. It's been done. What else can you really do with the character except turn her into a punch bag at that point and make her become a joke? So I think they're gonna kind of take the character in a different direction, even though it's not really her, but it's kind of like a fake her. It's just a new and interesting take on the character. Not that there was any problem with Melina before, because her personality and charisma, despite the overwhelming crazy amounts of sex appeal which she had, which obviously has been toned down, they've kind of a large and a strong amount of fans really enjoy the Melina character. Not because of the obvious what they see with their eyes, but because of her charismatic and crazy attitude. It's like the whole kind of, what was it? A similar appeal that is with someone like Harley Quinn. Crazy, quirky, has a bit of personality to her, easy on the eyes, not really a problem. So I think that part's going to carry on, but I don't know, I just feel like they're going to do something new with Melina. If she is excluded in this game, it might be like a clone, like I said, but I don't know, with the whole idea of time travel being a massive key point and aspect in this game, anything can happen, really. And also, quickly to catch you back on that, Ronin, with the whole Shao Kahn merging with Onaga, comics indicated Goro is the next host for Onaga.
And
not sure if you knew about that.
I haven't seen anybody else talk about it, but I have made a video about it saying that Goro will be next just based off of the comics, and that's what I'm hoping for, but I don't know what to expect with MK11, because for the longest I expected Onaga to be like the big bad for MK11, but with the introduction of this new mysterious woman, I don't even see Onaga actually even being in the game. So it's something I think is still up in the air, but yeah, no, I definitely agree that Goro is probably going to be who gets ends up being the host for Onaga this time around. It just everything in the comments kind of like set it up, but getting back.
Yeah, I think the idea is in the back burner for now. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, I was gonna say, getting back to the stuff on Melina, I don't think she's gonna return either. And it's just going back to what you said, I agree. Like, her story has been told. Like, don't get me wrong, she's a lovable character, a classic. A lot of people love her. Who do you think she's
gonna be playable though?
Huge fan. Getting there.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's going to return. And with all that being said, her story's been told. I don't think she can even like add to the story anything this time around. So I just think that she should sit aside and, you know, let some of these other female characters like actually be on the roster for once, because like there's so many characters, and especially like with things being done different this time around with the new timeline, I like some characters are like getting new story added to them. They're changing them up, like just making them better than what they were in the previous timeline, and that's kind of what I want to see more of. Like, give us other characters who don't get too much spotlight, like Serena or Astra or Lee May. Like, I kind of want Melina just to move aside and, you know, give one of those characters like some spotlight. And truth be told, though I don't think she will really be in the story or be on the main roster, there's always a chance she could be DLC. And I think we know that if she was DLC, like, come on, who's not going to buy her?
People would
like,
be so pissy, though.
Oh, yeah, no,
people would be so pissy.
People would be upset, but you cannot tell me she would not be one of the most sold DLC characters.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying at all. Just people would lose their shit.
Oh yeah, not seeing her on the main roster. Yeah, people are going to be pissed.
Oh yeah, that's like that's crazy. It's like saying, I don't know, Johnny's a DLC. That's just, she has to be in the main.
I mean, some characters I feel are a staple to the series. Like, you can just not have them on the roster. Like, we all saw what happened in the previous timeline in the old games when they tried to take Liu Kang off. And people were pissed. So they brought him back as zombie Liu Kang. And it's just like, ever since then, Liu Kang has always been on the roster. While I think that Melina does have a huge fan base, I just don't think that... I don't think she's a staple. Like I don't don't get me wrong. I respect that she has a huge fan base. Like you guys said, she's a lovable character based off of personality, and of course, we all know the sex appeal there. So it's just, while she is all that, I still don't think she reaches staple status.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
That is just me. Like, I mean, you can't not have a Mortal Kombat game and not have Scorpion. You can't not have Sub-Zero. You can't not have Raiden. Like, that's the holy trinity. And at this point, I don't think you cannot have Liu Kang after what happened previously. But I can see Melina sitting out. I mean, it's going to piss off a lot of people, but I feel like they would feel like people will get over it.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's like NRS's choice whether a character is in the game or not. It's their story that they want to tell. So I guess it's like their choice in the end. Doesn't really matter what we have to say, a little bit, but come on, if it means like compromising the story, I don't think that they'd like add a character for no reason, unless they want to do something like the Joker, where it's whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like if they did like bring back Shang Tsung and just had like a little moment with like Melina and like a bunch of her copies, maybe story-wise she could be in, but I just she needs to sit out. Just one game. Like just one game. It's not gonna kill her to sit out one game. I mean, Jade had to sit out a game. Noob had to sit out a game. Rain sat out of the game even though he was in it.
There were kind of a reason why they kind of sat out the game though.
I mean,
they were not.
Fujin hasn't appeared in a Mortal Kombat game in 19 years.
Oh, don't. He's on this list, so when we get to him, I have a don't even get me started. Oh, let's.
I think they. Yeah. Do you think they have stats on how much how much times they get chosen, like in the roster and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So based on those numbers, I feel like that's what they went by. That's why they took off also tag team, because no one used it. But for me, I used it all the time though. So I feel like they go
because it was competitively extremely broken at high levels. You could OTG into like 200% damage in training mode with Cyrax and Sector.
Yeah,
really.
I know, but it's like as in like casual and stuff like that. They just
that would be great.
Everybody loved it. I mean, I didn't have any problem with it though.
Well, I mean, at the same time, like going back to tag, I think that they might bring it back if it means anything. So, but that's a topic for something else. But let's move on to the next character, who is Noob Saibot, and this time around we're going to start with you, Matt.
Okay. So as in, I'm not gonna really like. Okay, how am I gonna start this? I feel like he is. Everybody wants him. You know, he's a very fun character. Kind of a. But I feel like they're gonna take a ninja out. You know, I don't know about like Tremor being in the roster. They're gonna have to take one out and put one in. So I feel like Noob is gonna be in, but they're gonna take out Tremor out. So that's what I feel like is gonna happen, because we can't have. I don't think we can have too much ninjas, right? Especially when there's like so much and stuff. So that's what I feel. With
Tremor already being a DLC, and I can see them taking him out. However, in his defense, I will say in his defense that he often talks about the Dream Realm, which evidently this Time Lady deals with based on these endings and stuff. So, I mean, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance he could return. I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit about that in a future video, but it's just at the same time, though, unless they try to tie that in, there's no other reason to bring him back. But then I also said a Kombat Pack 0, so who knows?
So yeah. So if not, it's just gonna another ninja then. I don't know. That's what I feel like is gonna happen, because it just can't be too much.
Well, no, I definitely agree with you, but at the same time, though, I mean, let's see who all was in Mortal Kombat X. We had Sub-Zero, Scorpion, obviously going to be in the game. Ermac is he could be taken out. He could stay in.
He's another one. I was definitely thinking of him maybe taken off, but I don't know. He seems like a badass character though.
Yeah, Reptile could stay in, because Reptile's never missed a game other than Deception. That was only because of Onaga. And then we have Takeda, who Takeda's gonna return, which people often forget that Takeda is even a ninja.
Right.
And then Trimmer. Yeah, so I mean Trimmer and Ermac are the only ones who I feel like would be on the chopping block, but I think that's something we would have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Do you think like Ed Boon? I mean, Ed Boon would like to have Sub-Zero and like Noob Saibot, and I don't know, because like we didn't have Frost and Sub-Zero because they're kind of similar, as in like I don't know play styles, but
this is not the topic for it, but man, like don't get me started on Frost. don't get me started on Frost.
No, I just feel like
she's
Noob
coming
is
in the
kinda
upcoming video.
Yeah. All right, you guys get going.
No. Go finish saying what you're saying. You said you feel like
No. I like. It's kind of like I don't know what subs. It's like having Johnny Cage and Cassie and Sonya. They're all about the same family and all about like kind of the similar playstyles, and kind of like the same family. So when it comes to Noob and Sub-Zero, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of a waste having both of them.
Not really, because it's like it's different powers.
Yeah,
they do have different movesets at their core.
True, but I don't know. That's how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's Brown the Warrior. You're next.
I feel like this is kind of a given character. Everyone's been in high demand of edgy Sub-Zero. Everyone wants him in. There's not really much to say because I'm not a massive fan of Noob Saibot.
Same.
But I think from pure fan demand, I think he's gonna make it in. They've been hinting at it in the arcade ladder endings, not arcade ladder endings, the intro dialogues of particular fights.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's out of the sake of pure fan service. I don't think they want to sleep on Noob. He's far too popular. Because I don't want to quote unquote flex, but when I'm looking at when I look at my highest viewed history of video, Noob is the second most viewed video in my entire catalog, sitting at about 1.3 million. So it's very, very clear that people do like this character, and just it's silly to not think that he won't make it into the game. He seems a bit too popular.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be crazy talk to literally not put him in there, but that's how I feel about Noob. I'm not a massive fan of him personally, but in terms of just pure fan service and demand, I think he gets in from Battle End.
All right, Ulterior.
All right, so unlike you guys, I played Noob. Pretty much my top 3 characters in MK9. Probably the third one is probably Noob, and he was fun and shit to play as. Not gonna lie, but with all the intros, as like History on the Warrior said, he's been hinted at. Like I don't remember exactly what or who said it or what they said, but it was to Sub-Zero, and it said that your brother calls you from the other side. I mean, it's pretty much a tease that he's still alive. Obviously, he just went into like the Soulnado, and I feel like with the upgraded graphics in MK11, they could do so much with Noob. Especially if they want like X-Rays to return, they can go crazy with like Noob. He probably had the best X-Ray move in MK9, anyways. Probably. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he summoned his like other side of him, holding the other guy. I mean, he's like too obscure to not put in the game. He's been confirmed to be alive. I feel like he's pretty much a given. Like History on the Warrior said, he's too popular to not put in the game. Like everything hints at him being in this game.
Yeah, and just to add more fuel to the fire, like adjacent to Jade, when Ed Boon made the poll with her, he made another poll saying what's the most missed male character, and of course Noob Saibot won that. So I mean, I definitely agree with all you guys. Like I honestly at this point think I won't say 100 because nothing's always like completely confirmed, but it's just he's gonna be in. Like there's no doubt in my mind that he's not gonna be in. So I mean, so many people wanted him to be in MKX, and of course, like y'all said, like the intros, there's all that. So I can't see them not putting Noob Saibot in, and of course, throw something around to play around with. My brother, like I said, me and my brother, we've been playing Mortal Kombat since we were like, I was 5, he was like 8. So just to kind of play on a topic real quick, have you guys noticed how they're kind of like playing with a lot of the Armageddon endings? Like the idea of Triborg was actually talked about in Sector's Armageddon ending, like all 3 merging and stuff like that. So
I remember that.
Me and my brother was talking, and he was just like, since they're doing that, he was like, what would happen if they played off of Noob's ending? And in Noob's ending, he ended up meeting his old self, the original Sub-Zero, Bihan Sub-Zero. And,
dude, that makes so much sense.
Exactly, because the time
because of the time bending,
And he ended up merging with his old self, and he gained like these new powers. So I was just like, that would be kind of cool if they played with that. Like that, I think that would be a kind of cool idea. And not to mention, there's also the whole thing with what was it? It was one of your videos, History Behind the Warrior. I want to talk. You said something about Noob being like the Elder Goddess champion.
Yeah, because of the whole first timeline, Scorpion gets sucked up into a tornado, is saved by the Elder Gods, becomes their champion. So obviously the idea exists, but the scenarios are quite different, because the reason why Scorpion was ever even picked for that situation is because Raiden decided to, become edgy, and they were out of ideas, and they were just kind of like, let's go for the next possible option. We'll find someone that is less edgy, and then we went with Scorpion. Scorpion then took up the mantle, and obviously it didn't really pan out with him beating Onaga, but the idea at least exists within the realm of possibility. But I don't know how that's supposed to really work for a character like Noob.
Yeah, well,
and you know what? For Noob, sorry to interrupt, but for Noob, didn't Scorpion and Sub-Zero have like a pact at the very end of MKX?
Yeah.
So bring him back into the story. That's gonna cause some issues between like that trio of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Noob. Maybe causing some more problems. You never know. I mean,
see,
hola, ¿cómo estás?
Not to intervene, but it's just me and my brother actually talked about that a little bit too, and he brought up a very interesting point, which I kind of just want to happen. I mean, with Scorpion and Sub-Zero now having this pact, that long time rivalry is done, and it's just like that kind of leaves a void for like another rivalry. And I was like, well, if they bring Noob back, why won't him and Scorpion kind of be like the new rivalry? Because honestly, they should have been the rivalry to begin with. I mean, he killed Bihan, so I feel like that would kind of be cool to see Noob pinned up against Scorpion, but that's just my opinion.
Can I state an opinion?
Yeah, sure.
Since is it the old timeline where Noob tried to kill Kuai Liang?
Whoa, pause. Who is this?
Survives. Sorry, I was helping out family.
Whoa, hold on. Well, I was wondering why like the mics like jumped up. I was like, oh god. All right, well, everybody, we have another person joining in. Survive Combatants. Better late than never. Go ahead and say
yeah,
hey.
Sorry. Hola.
But yeah, you can go ahead and state an opinion.
History. Is it the original timeline where Noob tries to kill Kuai Liang?
Yes. When so basically after he comes back, he reboots the smoke unit, the two tag team together, and then they start going. They won't say they start going directly for Kuai Liang out the gate, but they kind of bind their time. It's around the time of the end of Deception up to Armageddon where they start going after him.
Okay, so what my theory is that what if Bihan finds Kuai Liang with Scorpion. Since they've made up and everything, Bihan sees that as a betrayal. Because that Scorpion is the one that kills Bihan.
Yeah, yeah,
If
no,
that
it's
happens,
an
and
interesting
he gets
character
pissed.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
now Kuai
definitely
Lang has
interesting.
to go between Scorpion uh and Bihan.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that happening. It doesn't seem like it wouldn't happen. I mean, if we've learned anything from MKX with Scorpion, it's very clear that he can hold a grudge for a very long amount of time,
Yeah.
regardless of who's ever at the end of that stick. So I wouldn't put it outside the realm of possibility. And I mean, I don't know if anyone else can agree with that, but if I came back as a Hell Spectre and found out that I was accidentally killed because someone was lied to, I'd be hella pissed. So I
Yeah.
would go after them too. So I mean, it seems in the realm of rationality as well. It's not like it'd be put in there because hey, we need a feud and blah 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 blah. I mean, that it would
Yeah.
be a natural reaction between characters if they write them like actual people and not like dumbasses, of course.
And that kind of goes back to what I said about like that triangle. They're gonna try to do something to like maybe Sub Zero's trying to reach Noob and trying to like bring him back, um, make him think like how he used to. Bring him like basically he wants to bring his brother back once he finds out that he's alive, and maybe Sub Zero or not Sub Zero, Scorpion sees it as like a different way, or not Scorpion. Noobs finds out that Sub Zero and Scorpion have made this pact, and he sees that as like a betrayal to him, causing like a whole like triangle so like problem, and that whole thing like becomes something big. I don't know. And that there could be like
That could
some
work.
issues in that. You know.
While I was gonna like play off of that, while I can see somewhat of that happening, but like I kind of that's the like the route that they decide they want to take. I kind of hope that they would use this to kind of give Serena a bit more meaning. Because like I was saying before with the whole Melina thing, I was like, I really hope that they give some other female characters some spotlight. And with Mortal Kombat X, we found out that Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero is canon within this new timeline. So if they wanted, maybe they can play on that again. Maybe she could be trying to help out Noob for him helping her. So, because like he helped her kind of like, what's the words I'm looking for? He helped her kind of like regain her humanity. So maybe she could do the same for him if he returns, he's messed up or something like that. So,
Which is probably the case.
yeah, and because like I mean, Sub-Zero, while Kuai Liang does care for Bihan, I feel like it's kind of like was shown in MK9. Like while they are brothers, they kind of don't. I won't say they don't care for each other, but like
They don't seem close.
yeah, because Bihan was definitely ready to kill him. So yeah, so it's just I don't think that Kuai Liang will like put like a big emphasis on reviving his brother, but I mean it definitely could happen. But I would rather them try to use the Serena route for something like that.
I can see that.
But let's go ahead and hop on to the next character, which is Rain. And this time around, since Survive joined, I'll let you go ahead and kick that one off.
Rain really got kicked to the dirt, didn't he, in Mortal Kombat X?
That's the understatement of the year. So far.
Yeah, he got kicked more than when he kicked Kodo Khan off that roof. See, with Rain, it's like, what kind of role did he have in the original timeline? Because in this one, he really does not have a role whatsoever.
Well, he has more so of a role this time than he did in the previous timeline, if you ask me. I mean, he was all in the story.
To be fair, that in itself isn't really saying much, though. Just saying, because he did nothing in the original, basically.
At all. Like all the most he had in the original was Armageddon, when you find out that he's like a half brother to Taven and Dagon.
For like 3 minutes.
For 3 minutes, exactly.
Yeah. See, like, he's the Prince of Edenia, so like, why can't they do some royalty kind of thing when it comes to that? Like, I don't know, just him being like a like the Prince of Edenia, him being half human, half god. I feel like that could actually be, you know, some kind of cool storyline.
And I like adding on to that, like while I do think that is kind of cool, and which I kind of want to ask you about this history around the warrior.
Mhm.
The reason why he is the Prince of Edenia is because Argus is his father, right?
Yeah, so the thing is, with Rain, unlike Taven and Dagon, Rain is basically the bastard child of one of Argus's many escapades with women.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he's not seen at the same caliber of Taven and Dagon, because although he may up to a certain extent be of royal blood, he's basically, how do I put it? He's the dumpster baby of the three of them. Like, like the rest of the Edenians don't want him. His father probably didn't care because he never reached out to Rain at any point. Because in his eyes, he's most likely a mistake and a disgrace, probably dishonors his name and the rest of the royal bloodline, since he is a god. So, by that distinction alone, it just that's why I wouldn't say that's why Rain has always been written out of the games, but that's why he isn't as, although he may be a fan favorite in terms of royalty and how he's treated by other characters in the universe. He isn't really given that much respect, and it goes to show in the writing. It unfortunately.
Well, maybe in the new game, if he is in the game, he might try to like gain some respect by
Mhm.
maybe like setting a claim for the throne.
Which
Maybe he's probably gonna try to do what Melina tried, is to overthrow Total or some sort of way. He wants to be on top, finally get the spotlight. Maybe that's his goal, and within that goal, that means that he's gonna do whatever it takes to achieve it. I don't know. That's that right there is already better writing than what they've done for him in the past couple of games. So,
exactly.
I mean, literally off the top of my head, I just gave him like a better storyline than they've given him in the past. So, his claim to the throne, he wants to gain the respect he deserves, and he wants to prove himself. He wants to prove himself to himself and to everyone that he belongs on top. I don't know. That could be his goal.
And
Yeah.
piggybacking off of that is just, I mean, while that would be cool, I feel like there's just so many possibilities of things that can go on in Outworld, and it does make me kind of curious of what kind of role Rain could take. Because while I agree with you, he could try to go for the throne. Because I mean, he was working with Melina, but I think in the comics it revealed that he just wanted the throne for himself.
Exactly.
So while I can see him doing that, I see so many other possibilities of the throne, because I mean, there's the possibility of Onaga coming back. There could be Shang Tsung coming back, which I also think he's going to be in Mortal Kombat 11. And it's just like, Shang Tsung, I could see him going for the throne. If Onaga comes back, he's definitely going to take the throne. And then Shao Kahn, though he's a pre-order bonus, and that doesn't mean that he's any kind of canon to the story. If they did decide to make him canon to the story by being brought back, he would come back for the throne. So I mean, there's so many things that could play on that whole throne scenario. So while I could see Rain wanting the throne, it wouldn't be much of a story for him, because there's no way in hell he's getting it.
Unless he tries to like do the same thing he did with Melina, is side himself with someone who wants to get the throne, and at the very end backstab him to take the throne for himself. I don't know. That could work, where there's like a big like battle royale for the throne, and then whoever ends up winning, he like signs his loyalty to him or her, and then at the end he just takes it for himself. I don't
So
know.
what you're telling me is Mortal Kombat Battle Royale confirmed.
you know what I mean. Like if they decide to bring like Goro, or like Ronan says, Shao Kahn, or any of like top tier royalty characters, and they all want to claim to the throne, they all might just like hash it out to see who's the last one standing, and then Rain might decide to side with him for his loyalty, and then at the very end just like backstab the person who ends up getting the throne, hence giving himself the throne in the most cheeky way possible.
That's interesting. What do you think, History, behind the Warrior?
You see, this is a really, really tough one for me because I really like Rain, but I think that the character's kind of finished. Um, if we take into account what's happened to him in the previous timeline and the current timeline, he serves one role. Unfortunately, that role is literally the living embodiment of a jobber, which is a shame because the character itself is brilliant. There's so much potential, there's so many ideas. He does have a very unique and very entertaining moveset, but the thing is, it's just I don't know what could they do with the character that hasn't already been done. And I as much as I like to think he's in like really, really high demand, the character just I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of other picks that could fulfill his role better than what he could. And if he is gonna be in the game, I feel like he may just end up being in the game to be an obstacle for the main player to beat, and
So-
that's not something I want to see happen again after MKX.
Yeah, so MK net, yeah.
And I mean, would you guys say that maybe even like a little bit of the fan demand from Mortal Kombat X could get him into Mortal Kombat 11? Because I
think so.
I think, yeah, I would say I think we can all agree that there's a decent amount of people wanting him to be in the game, and honestly, just the fact that he was all in the game. You had to fight him twice. He was relevant to the story. And
Somewhat.
I mean, on the whole Outworld side of things, shall I say, actually. So
Yeah.
Like, do you guys think that could just kind of tip
I
him over the
feel like
jar
it
and get
is.
him into the game? Oh yeah, Matt, you haven't even talked on this, so actually, hey, go ahead
It's
and
okay.
give your opinion.
As in for the character being playable, I feel like he is gonna be there. Kind of like people wanting Fujin, Jade, and Serena. I feel like because they all wanted him, right? It's kind of like a group. People wanted all that. I feel like he's gonna be playable because like in MKX, they made you fight him, but not play as him, and that really it's like a huge. And at that point, to make it up, I feel like they're gonna have to add him at that point.
Even if it's just DLC, right?
Well, no, see,
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
That's
He was
bad.
already
DLC too much.
DLC.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was more Kombat 9's
But that's 2 games ago though. So
Still,
Yeah, but Ed Boon already said that he doesn't want to do that anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
Okay.
like a Combat Pack Combat Pack 0, they decided to not just bring back some characters from the MKX DLC, bring back some from MK9. But to be honest, I feel like that would be a bit redundant. So if Rain is going to be in, I think it has to be main roster, like main roster or bust, pretty much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's
know,
the
you
way
don't
things
have-
go.
Yeah. Even though he doesn't have a huge role in the story, I feel like at this point, not like having him at MKX and getting people pissed off like that, they're gonna have to add. But that's what I feel like.
I mean, I feel like that's what Ed Boon wants to do. Though. If Ed Boon goes by anything, he's like he wants to roll you up as much as possible, and then just leave it like that. Leave the salt to burn the wound in a very literal sense. If we've learned anything from Batman,
Who could
But-
be that evil?
me.
But I think
Oh, sorry, go back to you, Mad Dog. Sorry. Yeah,
no,
carry on.
I feel like he was very popular in MK9 though, because of his unique like play style and stuff like that. So
I mean, he was pretty cool in MK9 to give him
Yeah.
some kind of defense. Like, I actually enjoyed being Rain in MK9.
same
Yeah.
here.
His back four is awesome.
Yeah.
Goes
Roundhouse
across the
kick.
screen, and he has a very it's very unique playstyle, and I feel like Mortal Kombat 11 needs that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, after giving us him as DLC, not giving us him in MKX like whatsoever,
Yes.
I feel like at this point, if they're not gonna put him in, that'd be kind of like a double slap to the face. Like, oh, so you think we're gonna put him in the game? Nah. And I mean, I know Ed is sometimes cruel, but I mean, sometimes even if it's like I don't know, I feel like he has to realize at some point, we have to put this guy in the game, even if it's like a little role. He has to be like in the game somehow, some way. I don't know. I mean, Ed's cruel, but he's not that cruel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I just feel like of all the characters that you fought but weren't playable in MKX, he was the most demanded to be in, and a lot of people really just expected him to be in. I mean, he had, like I said, going back on it, he had like a little small role, of course, in the story. He had the role in the comics, and it's just you got to fight against him. So I just feel like that should be enough, along with the fan demand, to at least consider putting him on the main roster. At the very least. But as we all know, Rain isn't too relevant to the story, so I definitely think it's just going to be something that's up in the air for a while.
Yeah, I agree. I want him to be in the game, honestly, but I just don't think his chances are far too high. I really enjoyed him, and I really enjoy his playstyle, but I don't know. Will he be Jobber? Will he actually do anything in the story? That's the one thing I'm worried about. Will they do anything with him, or are we just gonna slap him around? That's my main.
Well,
that's my main breaking
That's
point.
probably my main problem with the story in the whole is just jobbers, because I've already talked about that before on why I hate the chapter system.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very one-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all these characters, I feel like Rain is definitely like the wild card. Like it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, going back on the whole jobber thing, we all know Reptile is like literally the king of jobbers, and he's been in every single game. So
you know you're gonna eat shit when you became a boss character for one game, only to unbecome a boss character and then go back to eating shit in the next.
Exactly.
That's rough.
Like
that is rough.
Reptile's life, like, though he's like one of my favorite, he has like just a sad story to him on like the low, because like there's that scene in the comics where he's like literally crying in the corner, and like Kodokan pities him and doesn't kill him, and I'm just like, gosh, you are like one sad character.
Like, nah, dude. Well, see, the thing is that Reptile's one of my favorite my friend's favorite characters, and he played Mortal Kombat X. He was like, dude, Reptile didn't do shit. He just got his ass beat.
Well, yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
I mean, that is literally Reptile. He has always gotten his ass beat.
I was like, oh yeah, about that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks for me because he's like actually one of my top 5 favorites. So it's just, yeah, it kind of sucks to see him always get his ass kicked in the story. But I mean,
for me, I don't like him.
No, I love Reptile. I have always loved Reptile.
He appeals to my inner Scientologist.
I would like to study you further. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and move on to the last character, which is Fujin. And I think this time around, I kind of want to kick it off because, man, like, Fujin, like, him in NetherRealm Studios, it just upsets me so much because, like you said, he hasn't been in the game in forever. And it sucks because he has so much potential to be a cool character, and I feel like with what happened in Mortal Kombat X, he has more potential for a story role than what he has ever had, honestly. And I feel like, you know, with Raiden now being Dark again in this timeline, he should like fill that role as Earthrealm's protector. Maybe he could kind of lead Cassie and her little group this time around. So it's just like, those are like my high hopes for him, and I really want him to play a role in the story, and I really want him to be playable. But NetherRealm Studios act like they hate Fujin, and I don't understand why. Like,
did he teach? Who did he teach? I know he
Well,
taught somebody.
he
Was it
didn't
Kung Lao?
like he didn't teach
He
anybody.
does win, right?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't teach anybody, but he did help Takeda in the comics as far as fighting Havoc. He gave him his whips and everything, and he gave him like that mask. So, I mean, as far as like that, like that's as much as it as there is. I mean, in the original timeline, he did take over as Earthrealm Protector, but that was only after Raiden became an Elder God again, and then he became Dark again. So, well, he became Dark. So it's just like Fujin never had like much of a story, but I feel like he has potential to have a story, unlike characters like Rain or like some other characters. Like I feel like Fujin has a lot of potential, but yet NetherRealm Studios act like they just don't care for him at all.
It's sad, but true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, history. What do you think?
I mean, you've basically covered the main base points for Fujin. He hasn't been in a Mortal Kombat game in 13 years. Fans clearly want him. He's in high demand. He has ties to Raiden. It'd be interesting to see the character relationship they'd have. And plus, it just feels like Fujin's one of those characters that is constantly waved in your face, but you can never actually catch him. And that's how I feel like he's been treated. He's always there. He's always prominent, and he exists, but he hasn't been playable in God knows how long. Now, I'm not a Fujin fan personally, but for God's sake, NRS, just put the character in here. People want him. I'm not sure if I'd go as far as to say he's a fan favorite, but he has a prominent fan base within the series.
Yeah.
And it just feels like if there was ever a time to include a god against another god, it would be this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The idea is certainly slept on. So for those reasons alone, and the fact that I would like to see two gods go all out and blow up the Sky Temple, yeah, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like I really like Fujin, and even if they brought him in just to fight Raiden, and he ends up even getting killed by Raiden, I would be okay with that. And like, it's not that I want him to die. It's just like that enough. I feel is good enough because it's a story. It's a story, and it's a reason to put him in the game as a playable character.
I'm gonna let you know that my soul will absolutely bleed for you if he does make it into the game but gets killed by Raiden in the first chapter.
Oh god,
Oh,
like, no! If he makes it to
Without
the
a
game
doubt.
and gets killed and he's
No.
not playable, oh god, oh gosh! Like, all I can say is, Boone, you are lucky I'm not going to no event because I would. Oh my god, I would be so heated. Like, oh my goodness, I'd be heated because I'm like, oh my god, this is Motaro all over again. Like, like no, stop.
Stop, he's already dead.
Yeah, like, oh gosh, don't even get me started on Motaro. Like, that's like my favorite sub boss. But anyways, Fujin, I mean, Motaro's at least understandable, but Fujin, I don't understand why they just won't give it. Like, even if it's just DLC, I'd be happy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like at this point, his role is going to be like, he's definitely going to be in the story this time around. But I think they're going to take the cheap way out because, as you said, NRS, for some reason, do not like Fujin. So he's going to be a playable character, and he's probably going to die in the story. Probably Raiden's going to kill him, but he's going to be playable. So I guess that's a way for them to like put him in the game and then not to worry about him in the future. That's probably what NRS is thinking of doing.
Because, I mean, like, I feel like, I definitely can see it happen because I feel like with Raiden being dark now, they kind of have to emphasize that, and the way they emphasize that is that like demonstrate this, like let him kill somebody. I mean, look at him killing Scorpion in the trailer, but granted, Scorpion came back and killed him. Well, a different Scorpion, but I feel like in a way that would be a good kick to show how far gone Raiden has gotten and let him kill somebody. Now, granted, I said it would be cool if he killed Devora because to me, I just thought there's no way she can survive MK11, but I mean, we'll see. But it's just, that would be something that they could do, is have him kill somebody to kind of insert that dot, like how far gone he is. And I feel like Fujin is a character on the chopping block if they did decide to go with that. Because you know Fujin is going to try to talk some sense to Raiden or try to stop Raiden, but we don't know how that's going to go if he's in the story.
So what's the consensus here? Is he going to be in the game or not?
I say 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, like the reason why I think he'd be in the game is because like where are the other elemental gods? There's wind, there's thunder, and then I forget who the other one is. I think there's 3 other gods that
mythologies,
Raiden.
right?
Yeah,
there's an Earth one.
Yeah, which they use for the to protect the Sky Temple.
Yeah.
So it'd be a cool story to show where those other gods have been, you know, like. But I could see the point of Fujin dying for the mere fact that when Raiden kills Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 9, he's like really beat up about it and shit. What would be cool is to show like, you know, how far he's gone with him killing Fujin. Like, you know what I mean? Like saying like, you know, and maybe Sonya or Johnny or Scorpion witnessing that, like how far he has really, really gone with now he's just killing friends.
Yeah. Which
Personally, I think he's probably going to kill off Jax. Because they've been hinting at that so much.
I have a theory.
Pause. I kind of want to hear this. Why Jax?
Yeah, no, I mean... Well, the guy clearly doesn't want to be in the Special Forces. The only reason he's ever involved with them is because Jackie's there. And in Sonya's ending, he's killed off. And even in his own arcade ladder ending, he gets iced. And considering how horribly underdeveloped Jackie is, I think that they're going to kill him off, kind of show off that, oh, look, I'm Dark Raiden there, and then they're gonna like give Jackie this motivation to actually have a reason to fight. Because for the most part, Jackie is Cassie's best friend, Takeda's girlfriend, and Jax's daughter. Outside, that is her gimmick. It's not even the fucking machine gun she has on her arm that she can spam. It's the fact that her gimmick is, I'm just related to these characters, so I'm in the roster. So maybe by taking out Jax, it's going to give her the opportunity to actually step up her game and not be seen as just, hey, look, I'm just this character here. Hi. You know?
I could do you one better. I think Jackie's going to die.
No.
Okay.
No.
I have a reason. I feel like she's going to die for the mere fact that Takeda's and Kenshi is going to go after the Red Dragon. What if there was a storyline where the Red Dragon actually goes after and kills Jackie, making Takeda lose his shit, and also Jax, because he keeps on telling Jackie like, "Don't do this, don't do this." He's, you know, you're gonna get yourself.
That would be pretty cool, but again, I feel like she's a bit too new still.
Yeah, because I can't see them killing her off just because I feel like she's prominent to the kind of story that they're moving towards now, you know, a whole little new generation thing they have going on. So me personally, I can't see them killing her off, but like the Jax thing, I can see it. I just kind of want to know, like, what would the setup for that be?
Oof, God knows.
Well,
Raiden probably tries to kill someone else out of outrage. Probably steps in the way. Get on an honorable hero sacrifice or something of the sorts.
Probably. I honestly, the more I think about it, I can actually see that happening. I mean, if they want to actually give like the new characters some more like story to them, like History Beyond the Warrior said, Jackie is like a sidekick pretty much in her story. And killing Jax, or Raiden killing Jax, shows Raiden being far too gone from being like the protector of Earthrealm to like a murderer now, and it gives Jackie like motivation to step out in her own light and be her own character, besides like a sidekick to Cassie and Takeda's girlfriend.
Well, I mean, out of curiosity, like I feel like with the Special Forces kids, the only ones who really just stood out was Cassie and Takeda. And which Takeda was probably the most fan favorite of the 4. And, you know, he...
Wait, who was the 4th?
Kung
We don't
Jin.
talk
Oh
about
my
it.
god.
Oh my god, you
Oh,
actually
shit.
Hold on,
Jin.
pause.
We forgot.
You just added on to what I'm about to say. I was about to say, can you not say that Kung Jin is just as much as bad as
The
Jackie
four.
is? Because I was literally about to say that.
Oh my
You
god.
gotta do Kung Jin like that.
That's how he
Okay.
was in the story, pretty much.
Yeah, he didn't really have that much like to give in that. Like, I don't know. He is like, who is he? He's
Kung Lao's cousin.
cousin. Yeah, cousin. Like, besides that, I mean, he's basically like Jackie. He's like related to like all the other characters, and he's just like a side character. Like, he's just a
Yeah.
added like piece to like the real team, which is like just Takeda and Cassie. And I feel like I mean, they have to like work on Kung Jin and Takeda, or not
Well,
Takeda, Jackie.
Yeah.
They need to give him like some motivation, some backstory, because like what they did for Kung Jin, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while, and out of all the new characters, I like the only character I actually forgot was Kung Jin. I honestly forgot about him, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
What
Do
did
you
you say?
think they're gonna add all 4 characters, the new combat kids, all of them are gonna be in Mortal Kombat 11, or you think they're just gonna
I
forget
do.
1 or 2?
I
think
think
Yeah.
the only new characters that aren't going to return, if you ask me, is Devora and Ferrator.
Or you might cut off. Say again?
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
the only characters who I think won't return that are new from MKX is Devora and Ferrator.
The Boar and
I can
Ferrator.
see that, yeah.
History around the world. You got something to say?
Oh yeah, no. Go get Kung Jin. Find a trash can. Throw him in a trash can. Throw away the trash can and set it on fire.
Oh gosh.
I do not like that. I do not like that character. And I know he goes through this arc in the game where he becomes a better person by the end of it. But if you're literally taking the piss out of someone's dad for dying and then being brought back as a zombie and having to fight against them, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
And I don't care
That's true.
whatever arc you go through, you're still a dick. Like, straight up. I do not like him. I do not want him to return.
Yeah,
Like,
not
how
gonna lie,
new
I actually
characters
forgot
are-
his story. Like, I don't remember. Did he have a
Oh.
chapter of his own?
No, yeah, he did. Well, I mean, do you want like the full backstory with him? Or
No,
just,
no,
like, the
no.
chapter?
Just like a brief thing.
I mean, well, the chapter kind of goes into a little bit of the backstory, like, because you go in the past and he fights Raiden and everything, and Raiden kind of explains, he's like, join the Shaolin. Don't let the fact that you're gay and what people think about you stop you from, kind of like trying to be hopeful, and like don't go down this dark path and be a thief when you could be doing so much more.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like he's
Family
the
is.
best written gay character out of everything, other than give me an Oscar from The Office. Like, he's one of the best because they didn't make that all about him. They actually like give him like somewhat of a story. He's mad at Raiden for what they did to Kung Lao.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, that's amazing.
That was like
really
the past stuff though, with that first part of the
Yeah.
chapter.
But I'm saying, like, he can be written as a good character. Just don't do anything weird with it.
I mean, I had an idea for a story for him, like something that they can do with him, and I'm kind of happy that History Behind the Warrior mentions one for Jackie, because I had nothing for her. But Kung Jin, I mean, he could try to help Kung Lao. Like, that's the biggest thing. I mean, your cousin's a revenant. Like, they showed it in the endings, him trying to like help him regain his humanity, and I feel like that's the best route they could probably take with him at this moment.
Yeah. It's basically the only other route they could have to wanting to include him in the game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's the thing though. If you had the option of picking between Kung Jin or Kung Lao, it's probably gonna go in the
Lao.
favor.
Kung Lao.
Exactly.
All
There's no
day. What the hell? It's not even a choice.
Unless he dies.
My point. So if you had to pick between the two, one of the two characters, if you were to cut out one of the new gen characters, it'd be Kung Jin in my opinion. But I'm not going to try and make this political or anything like that. But like, representation's a huge thing in gaming, and since they've kind of implied that he is homosexual, they're probably gonna put him in the game because of that.
Yeah, I feel like if
I don't think
anything,
Yeah,
they're
that's
probably
what
gonna play on it
like
a bit more than
character.
what they did in MKX, if anything.
Yeah, that's what I don't want them to do, because like you can be gay and not have that all be about you. Like it's not like being gay is like the only personality you have. You know, Kung Jin, he's hot-headed. He's, you know, he knows his stuff when it comes to other realms' laws and stuff like that. Make that into something.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like in all fairness, that's kind of what they've done. I'm like, yeah, he is gay, but like at the same time, though, they haven't played on that idea. They play more on the fact that he's this hothead. He does things his own way, this and that. So I feel like as far as going back to the representation route, it wouldn't be bad for them to kind of play on that idea. But no one says they have to go full head over heels with it. It's just like
just flesh him out.
Delve more into his person. Yeah, exactly. Flesh him out on the whole idea of that, because they haven't like just flat out said anything about it. They just like tiptoed around it a bit for the most part.
Well, we could know. We could be a massive Sonic Fox fan and actually be a furry at heart in the next game. Who knows?
Oh,
exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
I had to.
Man does an animality and turns to a furry.
I'd pay for that skin. But,
no, definitely.
Well, yeah, that's all I've got to say with Kung Jin anyway. I'm not a fan of the character. If he gets put in the game, fair enough. I'm not going to play him, but at least if people like him, they'll play him. I know I personally won't. I just don't enjoy him as a character or his playstyle. Yeah, I don't personally find it memorable, especially with Green Arrow being in Injustice 1 and Injustice 2. I've kind of had my fill with bow type characters, but hey, that's just me.
I agree. But getting way back on the topic. Fujin, yay or nay for everybody?
Yay.
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 50% yay.
It's risky though. Risky though.
Yeah, I agree.
Toast.
Yeah. But they're gonna have to take that risk though in order for them to actually develop. So
yeah, so I mean,
I say yay.
Like, I'm still hoping for it. He's still my #1 character that I want to be put in. I mean, granted, like, I have a laundry list of characters I want. He's not one of my
I thought
top.
it would be Frost.
Oh no, Frost is up there. She's my top 5 of characters I want. And then of course I
you
have
hated her. That's why I said it.
Oh,
Damn it.
Oh no, I like Frost. I said don't get me started on Frost earlier because I have a defense. I have a defense for her, in which she's coming up in the video when we continue to do this. But anyways,
fair dues.
Fujin, yeah. So I really want him to be in, and I'm really hoping that they decide to put him in. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But for this last segment, if there's anybody that has any questions or anything that they want to ask, now's the time to ask it in the chat. I will actually, if you have a Discord, you can actually join in with us real quick and say your piece on something. We'll choose 2 people. And I actually, hold on, I know somebody was actually messaging me on Discord asking me about it.
Steven, if there's ever a time for you to jump into the Discord, it's now.
Do it.
I see you.
Oh yeah, he's messaging me now. Yeah.
There we go.
Since you're on Discord, go to my channel. Well, you're already actually here. Yeah. Just jump into the live discussion chat.
Okay. We have a few questions in your YouTube chat as well. 3, I think.
All right. I will answer his. Well, he says he doesn't have any questions anymore. All right. So we'll go with Aaron Black coming back. Yes or no?
I want him to.
I say yes.
I do.
Yes.
He's the coolest character in Mortal Kombat X. He's literally.
I would probably say he was. I might go as far as saying he was the most well-received new character.
Yeah,
I might
definitely.
Go as far
Yeah,
as
he was a
saying that,
jobber.
yeah.
I mean,
Even though he was a jobber, he was really cool.
Yeah, he was just punched all the time.
A cool job.
His X-ray alone made everyone like really like the character. I mean, plus we've never seen a character like him where he's like an outlaw in like a Mortal Kombat game, something different from just ninjas and like special forces characters. I think he's definitely gonna come back in some way. They're gonna find a way to bring him back, especially with the popularity he had among like the casual fans and like the competitive fans.
Yeah,
They're like,
Sonic Fox.
yeah, Sonic Fox just like utilized him in the most brutal way possible. He just dominated every tournament. There's no way they're not bringing him back.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, a lot of people liked him. Everybody saw him as this badass character. So I want to say 100. Like I said, I try not to say 100% with everything, but I definitely think he has a really good chance.
Plus, Troy Baker, like voicing him, that's like perfect. That's literally the most perfect voice you could have chosen for him.
All right, last question. Let's see.
Nightwolf.
Do you think Apple? I was gonna take the Nightwolf one, but he's actually a topic for I want to say the second one of this or the third one. Same reason why I didn't take the Frost one, but actually I like this one. Hold on. Do you guys like the direction the MK story is taking with the time bending aspects, or would you prefer they stick to a single timeline and focus on a single cohesive story?
Okay.
So like Mortal Kombat 9, the time bending stuff?
Like basically he's asking like are you okay with this whole time bending aspect, or would you rather them stick with the new timeline that they've been working on without the new time bending thing?
I say yes.
And which honestly while the time bending thing is definitely cool, I feel like they played enough with time in MK9, and I kind of was really curious to see where they would go with MKX without the whole time bending thing. So truth be told, I actually wish they would have stuck with the single.
I think what makes Mortal Kombat is a time bending story, because it has no limits. You can get characters back, you can make characters die, and then it makes it kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like Mortal Kombat 9 admit it.
The argument with that, though, is in the original timeline, that was still a thing. People got bought back so many ways. I mean, heck, Johnny Cage died, and he came back. Like, there's tons of characters, actually. I can't just start listing all of them. But, like, there's tons of characters that died and yet came back. I mean, there's enough characters who can bring people back. I mean, there's Quan Chi, there's Shang Tsung, there's Onaga. Like, death has never been a thing, really, with Mortal Kombat. I mean, you can die, but there's always a way for you to come back.
True, but now that who died again? Quan Chi died, so now they have somebody else doing that spot.
I think it would be really interesting for time bending. If you actually think about it, it can fix a lot of NetherRealm's kind of shitty story. As like, one, you have things with the comics and you have things with the actual game. Both are very, very contradictory on what happens in each game. Some things that you have are canon in the comics but aren't in the game. You have some things that are.
I was going to say the issue with the comics was like the shitty communication between Sean Killerson and the comics and the actual writers. Like there was a lot of, because I still wholeheartedly believe that the comics was meant to be canon, and I still consider at least most of it canon. It just aside from the plot holes. So
yeah. I mean, I like it if they do it correctly, okay? So I don't want them to go, like, full-on, like, what the fuck is going on? If they do the time bending correctly, where it's, like, controlled, and, like I said earlier in the stream, if they use, like, the plot of, like, the mysterious woman, because obviously she's the one that's going to be dealing with the time bending, if she wants to, like, fix the timeline to reverse it back, and I don't know, like I feel if they do it correctly, if it's controlled, I won't mind it. But if they go like full on, like what the fuck are you doing, or what's going on, or why would you do that? That's where it becomes like problematic. It just depends for me.
But see, here my issue with it is that I'm pretty sure it's going to deal with the both timelines kind of merging. And it's funny because somebody actually said that in the chat. But like it's just like no, somebody said it in the chat. But like, it's just, I think they're gonna play on that, and it's gonna deal with like the whole Armageddon thing. Definitely, if it's based off of Katana's ending, and as we all know, not all endings are canon, but some do become canon, or some are like they take aspects of it and that becomes canon. And it's just, I feel like they already did enough with that in MK9, so it's just, I mean, it can still be cool, it can still be a great story. It's just I wanted something different, to be honest.
True, and it probably is because. If the trailer says anything about the actual story, you see Raiden killing Scorpion, which is like the current timeline Scorpion, and then it shows like the classic Scorpion, and he kills Raiden. I mean, that's like obviously not like canon or anything, but like it probably shows that there's going to be like Scorpion from the original timeline somehow makes it into the current timeline, or vice versa.
Or she brings him about. Also said they could play on the whole Scorpion being the Elder Gods champion thing and bringing him over into the new timeline, but that's getting things really mucky.
Yeah, or they might go like super trippy and like have like this like portal of like doing like you can go through it. It's like it merges the timelines for like a brief time where you can like jump between the timelines. I don't know. Who fucking knows?
I mean,
with another realm, you never know.
Go so many ways, but
yeah.
I mean, what do you?
I
think
mean, if they decide to go like the Flash route and do that, I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I mean, they could still do it right if they play on some new different things. I like if like a costume means anything within that trailer, because typically these trailers have things that you can catch. If the costumes mean anything, that Scorpion that killed Raiden was the same Scorpion that, well, based off a costume, should be the same Scorpion that was in Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. So that's the idea of that's kind of cool to me, because then that means little spin-offs could be relevant also. So that would be interesting enough to make me want to know where they could go with it. But for the most part, I kind of just wish they didn't take this route. But who knows? I might end up liking what they do. But history behind the Warrior, what do you think? Been awfully quiet.
All right. I'm gonna be honest there. Not too keen on time travel in general. I think if it's done right, it's great. But time travel as an idea is great. But the problem is that it's very
lazy writing.
Yeah, it's a lazy writing tool. When you back yourself up to a wall and you want to do some stuff to bring in some stuff, it messes around with the concept of time travel. And time travel is a theory and a concept in itself. If we're going to draw any ideas from anything, let's talk about the Terminator films quickly.
Oh, God.
My God, did they fucking change how consistent time travel works and butterfly effects works. One time, Judgment Day is set in stone. Another time, it's imminent. So that's my main problem with time travel in general. As a concept, it's interesting, but time travel only makes sense when the script needs it to make sense for things to work.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm worried about. Because I like the direction of where the new timeline's going. I know not everyone's kind of on the same boat with me.
I like it aside from the few hardcore things that they changed from previous, but I agree.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's at least coherent. You know how things are going on. The story's fairly straightforward. Fans understand how things work with arcade ladder endings and stuff. Like, if it isn't part of the main story, you shouldn't take it as gospel. But the thing is, with time travel, stuff goes crazy, and you get all these weird little matchups and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, it's clever, but when the time you incorporate time travel into a story, how to put it? It dangerously treads on the realm of fan fiction. That's what worries me, because I've been fairly happy with how the story's going now. I have faith in NRS, but I want to see them do things right. So I'll leave it as that. I'm not a fan of time travel itself. It's very, very, very messy. It's kind of fan fiction-y. If it's done right, it can be done really, really good. If not, then I don't know, get Terminator Salvation. Pull it out.
I mean, yeah, because like more in movies too, more often than not, when they use time travel, it's like to fix like past mistakes.
Yep.
And NRS is probably gonna do that. And as like History Beyond the Warrior said, more often than not, we get like scenarios like Terminator where it's like, what the fuck? But if they do it right, like one movie that I thought they did like at least a good job at, I don't know if you guys seen it yet, or if you guys have seen it, X-Men: Days of Future Past. That was done.
Yeah, that was good.
That was done at least good to the point where like, okay, at least it makes sense. But more often than not, it goes like the Terminator route where it's like you keep on changing things like every other movie or every movie at this point. Like, I don't know. It's like they're pretty much using time travel to fix all like the plot holes that they've created themselves. It depends.
Yeah.
It honestly depends for me.
It just makes me laugh because I'm like, when did Mortal Kombat go from being about tournaments, fighting for your realm, to a story about time travel all the time?
Yeah.
Because at this point, I feel like time travel has gotten redundant. So,
yeah.
I mean, I would love to see them go back to Mortal Kombat tournaments, but hey, that's just me. But
yeah, I thought they were hinting at that during the ladder endings, but
yeah,
apparently that's far too simple.
yeah, because I thought the
Far too
idea of them
simple.
holding like an Outworld tournament or something like that, because that's what they did with the Deadly Alliance. They had the whole Outworld tournament. Li Mei won it, and then they killed her. But it's just I was just hoping that they would play on some kind of tournament, because I'm like, honestly, outside of Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, and I guess if you want to count Deadly Alliance, the Outworld tournament, they don't even do tournaments anymore. Like, it's not even about that anymore. And even though the game is called Mortal Kombat, which is based on a tournament of you fighting for your realm.
I mean, who knows? Maybe with the time travel, they might want to go back to that. I don't know. They might want to fix it, and they might want to go that route again. I don't know.
But it goes back to the redundancy, because
Yeah.
you saying that, I keep thinking about the
I
beginning
agree.
scene of MK9 when he must win, and then Raiden gets the vision right before the tournament. And I'm just like, I don't want this again. Like, we've done this. We've done this already.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has good points about this. It's like it is redundant. It's been done already in MK9 to fix whatever mistakes have been done in the original timeline. I don't know. It's honestly 50-50 for me. It depends on how they do it. If they change it up like a bit, they don't have it exactly the same way they did it in MK9, and they make it cool in some way and actually like meaningful, or why they're actually doing it, not just to fix their mistakes, then I'm all for it. If it's just to like, if it's just to like fix whatever mistakes NRS has done in the past or any little plot holes, then I feel like that's just kind of like a waste. Like, if you're gonna do that, that means that you don't have faith in what you've made already. That's just me personally. If they're gonna do that, they should have just gone along with the current timeline. But you know, it's whatever.
Well, with that, do you guys have any last things you would like to say before we end the stream?
No, that's it for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was fun doing this, guys. We should be doing another one of these hopefully whenever everybody's free. But until then, this is X Ronin and everybody else. Be sure to check out everyone's channel, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.